Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the midday news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds talks with President of the Maldives, Ibrahim Mohammed Solih, in New Delhi, says India-Maldives partnership is not only working in the interest of citizens, but is also a source of peace, stability and prosperity for the region. India and the Maldives exchanged several agreements, including on cybersecurity, disaster management and police infrastructure development. Proceedings in Rajya Sabha hampered following protest over alleged misuse of central investigating agencies. India is keeping a close watch over the spread of cases of monkeypox disease. 8 cases have been detected so far in the country, says Union Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia in Rajya Sabha. Prime Minister lauds outstanding accomplishment of 6 billion UPI transactions in July. Government asserts performance of the Indian rupee is much better than its peer currencies and its value is increasing. Atal Innovation Mission launches call for applications for its 2 leading programs, Atal Incubation Center and Atal Community Innovation Center. Tiranga Utsav to be celebrated in New Delhi this evening on 146th birth anniversary of Pingali Venkaiah, Home Minister Amit Shah to participate in the event. In Commonwealth Games, Indian women's team to take on South Africa in lawn bowls final at Birmingham this afternoon, and in cricket, India to take on the West Indies in the 3rd T20 international match at the Warner Park in Basseterre, St. Kitts this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held delegation-level talks with President of the Maldives, Ibrahim Mohammed Solih, in New Delhi today. Both sides reviewed bilateral ties and discussed ways to strengthen linkages in areas of development partnership, trade, connectivity and P2P ties, among others. In the joint press statement after the talks, Mr. Modi said they reviewed projects for the construction of 4,000 social housing units in Greater Malé. Mr. Modi highlighted that the threat of transnational crime, terrorism and drug trafficking is serious in the Indian Ocean. The Prime Minister said the India-Maldives partnership is not only working in the interest of the citizens of both the countries, but also becoming a source of peace, stability and prosperity for the region. He asserted that India has been and will continue to be the first responder in any need or crisis of the Maldives. The Maldivian President said Maldives-India relationship goes beyond diplomacy and this visit is an affirmation of the close bond between the two countries. India and the Maldives exchanged several agreements including on cybersecurity, disaster management, police infrastructure development. The visiting dignitary is also scheduled to meet President Draupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan this evening. Mr. Solih arrived in New Delhi yesterday on a 4-day visit to India. He was received by Union Minister Dr. Sanjeev Balyan. He is accompanied by high-level officials and business delegation. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar called on the Maldivian President last evening. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said India's neighbourhood first and Maldives' India first policies are complementary. He added that these policies take the special partnership between India and the Maldives forward. Mr. Solih is also scheduled to visit Mumbai tomorrow. Maldives is India's key neighbour in the Indian Ocean region and occupies a special place in India's neighbourhood first policy. In recent years, the partnership has witnessed rapid growth in all areas of cooperation, and the upcoming official visit will provide an opportunity for the two leaders to review the progress made in this wide-ranging partnership.
The Union government today asserted that performance of the Indian rupee is much better than its peer currencies and its value is increasing. Speaking during the questionnaire in the Rajya Sabha on the declining value of Indian rupee against the US dollar, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said, Indian rupee is finding its natural course and there is no collapse. She said Indian rupee has withstood the US Federal Reserve's decisions much better than other currencies. She said Reserve Bank of India has made interventions only to contain the volatility of the Indian rupee. On the question of declining foreign exchange reserves, the minister said the country is comfortably placed. India is keeping a close watch over the spread of cases of monkeypox disease. Replying to supplementaries from the questionnaire in the Rajya Sabha today, Union Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia said a total of 8 cases have been detected so far in the country. The Health Minister said the centre has taken proactive steps, including issuing guidelines to the states in the month of May with emphasis on contact tracing to check the spread of monkeypox disease. He said measures have also been taken to create awareness about this disease. The Minister expressed confidence that Indian scientists will be able to develop a vaccine for monkeypox disease.
Earlier, the Rajya Sabha had been adjourned till 12 noon following noisy scenes by Shiv Sena MPs over the alleged misuse of central investigating agencies. When the House met for the day, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu rejected the adjournment notices moved by the Congress-led AAP and Shiv Sena on various issues. After that, Shiv Sena members tried to raise the issue of alleged misuse of the Enforcement Directorate against opposition leaders, but the chairman did not allow it. As the Sena members continued with their demand, the chairman adjourned the House till 12 noon. Earlier, two newly elected members from Haryana, Krishnalal Pawar and Kartikeya Sharma, were administered oath by the chairman. There is no food grain crisis in the country. This information was given by Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Kailash Chaudhary, in the Lok Sabha today. He said due to the concerted efforts of the central, state government and farmers, the production of food grains has increased from 285 million tons in 2017-18 to over 314 million tons in 2021-22, which is an all-time record.
The Union government today said 386 acid attack cases on women were registered in 2018 to 2022 in the country. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, the Minister of State for Home Affairs, Ajay Kumar Mishra, said total 62 persons were convicted during this period for the crime. He said the centre has issued advisories to all states and union territories to review the rules and ensure that retail sale of acids and chemicals are strictly regulated in terms of the poison rules so that these are not used in crime. The Union government today said the total of 189 centres, including National Centres of Excellence, Sports Authority of India (SAI), training centres and extension centres are functional for the implementation of the sports promotional schemes of SAI. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Thakur said 8,119 talented sportspersons, including 3,146 girls, have been trained in 28 sports disciplines on residential and non-residential basis at these centres. He said the government has taken various steps to strengthen sports infrastructure through various schemes, including Khelo India scheme and assistance to national sports federations. The minister said government has sanctioned 300 sports infrastructure projects of various types across the country.
Union Minister of State for Dairying and Fisheries Dr. L. Murugan has said the banks extend crop loans through Kisan credit cards as per the guidelines issued in terms of Reserve Bank of India's Master Circular on Kisan Credit Card Scheme dated 4th July 2018. Replying to supplementaries in the Lok Sabha, the minister said the KCC facility has been further extended to animal husbandry farmers and fisheries for their working capital requirements as per RBI's circular issued on the 4th of February 2019. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has lauded the outstanding accomplishment of 6 billion UPI transactions in July, the highest ever since 2016. In a response to a tweet by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Mr. Modi said it indicates the collective resolve of the people of India to embrace new technologies and make the economy cleaner. He said digital payments were particularly helpful during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Atal Innovation Mission today launched call for applications for its two leading programs, Atal Incubation Centre and Atal Community Innovation Centre. Niti Aayog said in a release that the call for applications is a step to expand the current ecosystem of incubators and to provide them with access to global benchmarks and best practices. Both the programs envision to create and support the innovation ecosystem in the country by establishing world-class institutions which shall help budding entrepreneurs of the country. Atal Incubation Centre is an initiative of the Atal Innovation Mission to foster innovation and entrepreneurial spirit while creating a supportive ecosystem for startups and entrepreneurs in India. Each AIC is supported with a grant of up to 10 crore rupees over a period of 5 years. Since 2016, Atal Innovation Mission has established 68 Atal Incubation Centres across 18 states and 3 union territories which have supported more than 2,700 startups. In Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the drive for collection of Aadhaar data from voters to link with electoral rolls has been started. As per the directions of Election Commission, Aadhaar data would be utilized to authenticate electoral rolls on voluntary basis. The Chief Electoral Officer, Binay Bhushan, urged all voters to get the Aadhaar linked with electoral rolls on voluntary basis. This will enable to conduct free, fair and transparent elections in the islands.
The Enforcement Directorate is conducting searches at 12 locations in the National Herald newspaper case. Sources said that searches are being carried out in Delhi and other places. Over 204 crore 60 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said over 26,77,000 doses were administered yesterday. The recovery rate is currently at 98.49%. The Ministry said over 17,000 people recovered in the last 24 hours. Total number of recoveries have reached over 4 crore 33 lakh. A total of 13,734 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in the country during the last 24 hours.
You were listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds talks with President of the Maldives, Ibrahim Mohammed Soleh, in New Delhi. Says India-Maldives partnership is not only working in the interest of citizens, but is also a source of peace, stability and prosperity for the region. India and the Maldives exchanged several agreements including on cyber security, disaster management and police infrastructure development. Proceedings in Rajya Sabha hampered following protests over alleged misuse of central investigating agencies. India is keeping a close watch over the spread of cases of monkeypox disease. 8 cases have been detected so far in the country, says Union Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia in Rajya Sabha. Prime Minister lauds outstanding accomplishment of 6 billion UPI transactions in July. Government asserts performance of the Indian rupee is much better than its peer currencies and its value is increasing. Atal Innovation Mission launches call for applications for its 2 leading programs, Atal Incubation Center and Atal Community Innovation Center. Tiranga Utsav to be celebrated in New Delhi this evening on the 146th birth anniversary of Pingali Venkaya. Home Minister Amit Shah to participate in the event. In Commonwealth Games, Indian women's team to take on South Africa in lawn bowls final at Birmingham this afternoon. And in cricket, India to take on West Indies in the third T20 international match at the Warner Park in Basseterre, St. Kitts this evening. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.